Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm KnowItAllDM. This morning is a lovely morning. Sitting on top of my spaceship, just drinking some cave bean coffee. Perfect way to start the morning, especially on my last morning on Akua. That's right, people. We're moving to Omicron today. Alright, welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? Today I am having an absolutely great day. Ow! If I would stop falling and getting hurt like that. That's, something I do quite often by accident. So, today we are moving to Omicron. And before we go, I wanted to take a few moments and do a quick tour of the base that we are leaving behind on Akua. Now, you guys may remember that this base was at one point a abandoned mine that we skillfully came and took over and transformed it from its hard mechanical workings into this lovely underground bunker. And it's become a home to me. I mean, as you can see, I log out here every day and then log back in, come up, play a few video games on my, well, okay, I don't actually come. There's no way to actually interact with this, but eventually I hope that they will make interactions with the TVs and the computer things and all that, something that works. Come in here, spend the morning taking a shower, getting ready for the day, that sort of things. Always wash your hands. Be sure to wash your hands after going to the bathroom and, even if you took a shower, just, because. And then, I never hired any workers to come and help me out in this abandoned mine and try to find anything underground because, well, it's a single-player game and there's, nothing else, nobody else here that I could help. But, or that could help me. But in any case, we've got this nice living room here that I set up. Sit on the couch, watch some TV, hang out, have movie night, eat some popcorn. Speaking of which, I have some popcorn left that I want to take for the road. Popcorn and baked pumpkins. Corn dogs I'll just leave here because, they can just rot and die. In fact, I'm just going to take them and we're going to throw them away because we don't need corn dogs anymore. We are moving to Omicron where they have other things besides corn dogs, which are much more delicious. Okay, and right across from the kitchen where we exit over here in the living habitation quarters, you've got the medical bay set up. You've got, the food processor, which is a medical, I use for medical processing. The refrigerator used for medical storage. You've got your little health station here and O2 recharge station, which I am full on O2 right now, so I don't even need that. Just come over here every morning, heal up, oxygen up, just, in case I ever need it. Through here, we've got our storage bins in the storage area and the landing pad inside here just in case I need to bring the racer or now the shuttlecraft down to get that. And then we have this room over here, which I never actually set up as a kill box because, well, I didn't need to because the things down there never came up. And we've got our defensive wall over here, which, if it were a multiplayer game, I would turn it around and have the stairs on the other side. And put some turrets up there as extra protection. And then coming on down here, we've got the engine room, or reactor room, or whatever you want to call it, where we've got our generators and our fuel tanks, one of which is now empty. And then continuing on this way, coming on up here, we've got the hallway that leads to, well, yes, I did set these turrets up because I didn't want it to be completely unprotected, although they currently have no ammo left in the box, and they never actually, you know, recharged, so, oh, wrong button. So, they became useless. Then over here we've got this that, you know, you can look down into this room, which is just down below. And through here we've got the cargo area where we store and process things. And I mean, I left all these barrels intact because there was no need to destroy them. Yeah, I could have gotten a few resources from them, but I mean, why do that when I can, you know, just leave them for aesthetics? Additionally, all these O2 tanks are full of oxygen, so I never, ever will ever have to worry about recharging them ever again. Now, I might change these to green, but leaving them red, I don't mind them being red. And then, of course, back here is where we got our first epic weapon. But up in here, remember this? This is where we got this epic sniper, right here. And now I got, you know, gold coins hiding in there, just, you know, in case I ever need some extra credits, which I should never really actually need. Then and through here is where the core of the mine originally was, right here, and we blew it up, and, well, that was that. And I turned this into a secondary constructor room with an elevator that goes all the way up to the top, so I never actually have to go down the way I just went down. And then through here, you've got the mine portion of it down here, which, you know, come right through here, and there's the mine here. But we'll get back to that in a second. As you can see, I have done a little work down here. Over here is where I've got the garden, which I come to every morning, and, well, I did it last night, but every time I log in, I come and I grab the fruits and vegetables that are here. Of course, when the power goes off, when I turn it off before we leave, none of these will keep growing. They'll stay there, but they won't keep growing. And then, of course, the back entrance back to this room here. Now, over this way in this area, I have been trying to change this into sort of another living quarters all the way down at the bottom so that I could just move everything down here. But that's no longer necessary since we will be leaving. And finally, we've got the mine room. And over here, I just, you know, started mining a little bit just to, you know, see what was, if there was anything I could do in there, but there's not. And you've got your extra generators down here. You've got a whole bunch of empty storage containers. This place has so many storage containers that I would never be able to fill them up. And then finally, something that I have yet to show you guys that I have been working on building inside the base, the back door. Now, this back door is more of an exit, an emergency exit, for in case things get really hairy and I need to escape in a hurry from down there. Not that it would on this server, because, as again, it is not PvP, and there's now nothing on Akua that will ever attack this base, since the drone base is now destroyed. So this little corridor leads this way around the exterior of the base to a little, you know, hidey hole where I could hide out and nobody would ever find it. And then it leads up to behind these shutters, which you never knew this was here, did you? You just thought, oh look, there's shutters. Okay, let's ignore it and keep on going. No, this is a corridor that leads up to here. And here, as you can see, behind... Can I get out, please? Thank you. Right here, these steps, you've seen me go up them 1,000 times. Fly up into there and then fly back down. You never even thought to look behind the shutters. There's a little corridor that leads this way into this elevator here. This is the long elevator that goes all the way up to the top and out onto the top of the base. And of course it comes out to here, where I can activate the plasma turret, which I will never need again. Yes, that's right. I am just blowing up trees for no good reason, because I can. Okay, anyway, so that's the base that has become our home, and we'll be back here sometime eventually. But for now, I'm going to shut the place down so that it doesn't use power needlessly. So we're going to just come on down over to here. Not that I have to actually go anywhere specific, but I figured let's come to the core right here, which all this was at one time just aesthetic blocks, and I have now turned it into a fully functional generation thing. So right here, turn off the power. I'm getting a little hungry. Pumpkin. I like pumpkins. And that is our base. The base that we turned from a mine that we took over and converted entirely to home. Now, if this were a PvP PvP thing, I would definitely change the height of the walls. I would make the walls a good 3 or 4 higher, maybe 2 or 3. Because, I mean, if you can just jump over onto the wall, it's not that impressive. So, but in any case, that is our base. And I'm going to miss it. But hopefully we will find a base on Omicron that we can turn into home just as much. And, of course, I forgot to mention the entire back area back here that we converted and built, in fact, into a landing pad for the Last Hope. Now, if we can find a mine on Omicron or something similar, then I'll definitely have to build a landing pad for the Last Hope and bring our intrepid companion from Akua back home. Now, the problem with this is that I'll only be able to take one capital ship back. So what I will probably end up doing is making a temporary capital ship, coming over here, disassembling it, and then taking the Last Hope home, back to Omicron. But that'll be for another time and another day, and in any case, let's go on and head, finally, to Omicron. Alright, thrusters activated, lights powered, heading on up. Oh, I almost forgot. Something that will probably be quite necessary. Let's go ahead, come over here. Whoa! I hate the physics of this game. They make spaceships into tin cans. Alright, thrusters deactivated. And of course I can't get out now. Alright, not this seat. Yes, that seat. Let me reactivate the thrusters real quick. Okay, now I still can't get out. Alright. This is annoying. I need to get those things out from here. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Now I can get out. Whoa. Okay. And of course, look, there's a glitch. But we've got all these that we will be able to set up on Omicron and create vast quantities of oxygen if we need to. So I'm going to put these. I'm going to put them in here. Actually, can I stack more than... That's 6 and 2. Okay, there we go. Now we can head on up to the orbital landing platform. Alright, we're making our approach to the orbital landing platform. Let's match its directional rotation. Slow it down. I almost shot past it. Well, okay, I did shoot past it. But I should be able to come close. Okay. Alright, now I want to rotate this way. Rotation and angle look good. Can I come forward? Alright. And docked. Helmet on. Jetpack off. Let the gravity do its thing. I need to move forward just a bit. Is that good? That's perfect, I think. Nope, a little bit further. Alright, I believe that, yes, that is perfect. Okay. Thrusters off. Lights off. That gives us 13 hours of power. With only 2 of those missing. That's fine. Alright, let's come on out. Close the door. Come on into here. Now, the racer should still be docked right here. Perfect. All right. Now, the pentaxid problem, do I have enough to get there? Warp tank. Oh yeah, it only takes 1 to get there. Because it took 1 to get there, 1 to get back. Oh yeah, we can definitely go to Omicron. Alright. Destination. Omicron. Target locked. Alright, it's on the other side of the planet. Okay. Here we are. Everybody ready? Say goodbye to Akua. Alright. And we're back in orbit around Omicron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dock or park the orbital landing platform in orbit around Omicron. I'm going to leave the racer up on here, and I'll come back and get it whenever I get a chance. But for now, I'm going to park in orbit, and then I'm going to take the shuttle down to the planet's surface. Alright, let's head on down to the planet. Now, when I get down there, I'm going to have to find the location where we put the other, the ground-based landing platform, because I don't know the terrain of of Omicron as well as they do Akua, so I don't know exactly where I was. Oh, I'm really close. Let's see. Should be right... I'm almost right on top of it, right here, in fact. Alright, so let's just stop and head down. Alright, where is it? It should be around here somewhere. Okay, there it is. Literally right below me. Alright, let's angle correctly and see if I can get on top of this thing. Okay. And I'm on top. Oh, should be there. Let's see how good we did. Okay, almost perfect. Need to go up and to the left a little bit. Alright. Just a little bit more and we should be good. There we are, almost perfect. Okay, and there. That should be perfect. Alright, that's pretty good anyway. Alright, so turn off the thrusters and the lights. Alright. How much power are we using? I was hoping to use less. Maybe if I get it angled a little, turn the thing off and back on. Why is it not using just 1%? I don't have enough time on the hours remaining. It's parked pretty good. Alright, let's go back and see if we have to angle it a bit. It's, well, okay, well now it's using 1%. Okay, well, I guess it's fine the way it is. Alright, first things first, make sure there's no baddies in the area. And then let's go get the H2O2 generators to put down here in the water. Right here. And that. And let's get some fuel for it. Not a whole lot, but some. And that should be good. Okay, let's head on down here and put these in the water. Alright, there we go. Last one's in place. Let's get them fueled up. Now, I'm going to be using Promethium for these because you can't use hydrogen fuel for these. But these will produce hydrogen to make more fuel. And I will try to use hydrogen to fuel most of my vessels and the like. But I think the primary habitat is still going to use Promethium fuel. So, alright, not quite enough. So I do have a Promethium mine down nearby, along with stuff that has a lot of metal and stuff in it. So there's more resources on this planet than were on Akua. But anyway, we need fuel. Let's get, what was it, 6, 7? I think it was 7 that I needed to put in here. What was it, that one? That one, yes. Haha, right there. And there we are. They're all fueled up. All right. So we should start getting oxygen produced so that we don't, well, suffocate. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to put the entrance either on this side right over here or on this side right over here, and it'll head down and underneath the platform here so that I can, you know, have the platform on top of the base. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and figure out exactly what I'm going to do, and then I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so I've decided that instead of having the entrance be part of or on this, I want the entrance to be this pool of water, which, well, kind of is not entirely water. It's an illusion, even though, you know, you get up on top and, oh, look, it's water, and then you go under and it's not. So I've gone ahead and dug over to here, where I am going to start the building process. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put here, false ceiling floor along this and along here, just so that it shows. I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to want to get to that. But so that from above you cannot tell that there's anything underground, because you'll just see the floor thing when you look down through those holes. Now, let's see. Okay. Now I am going to need to get this to come down. Let's see. Let me get rid of that. And that. And put full cubes there. There and there. And now I'm going to want to do this. And then go ahead and put cubes down like that. And up here, let's go ahead and fill in this. So that this hole is closed. All right, filled in and then leveled. All right, and that shouldn't cause much suspicion. Not that there's anything actually going to be looking for it, but I like doing neat things. Let's fill you in right here too. All right. So now that I've got that there, I'm going to need to drill out this portion here. All right. And I am going to have these continue out straight. All right. And then, and none of that sticks up. Good. All right. And of course here I need to, wrong thing. Right there. And then across here. And across there. Not there, no. All right, there. And this way. Alright, let's clear you out. Now, I'm going to be really disappointed if I get this whole thing built and then the terrain just resets sometime. So, alright, we've got that sort of cleared out. And then here, I'm going to put like that. And then a door. Now for this door, I want that. And then here, I'm going to do that. And then that. Alright, so now we've got our tunnel leading to here. And I want this immediately underneath. So we're going to need... Now, it's not going to go down terribly deep. But I do want it to go deep enough that it's protected even from surface blasts of missiles and the like. So, alright. Okay, and this is where my elevator shaft is going to be. So I'm going to start digging this. And then I'm going to put my first elevator part right here. So I can just hover right here and dig down. Alright, so I'm just a few elevator blocks down, but I think this is the level at which I want to place my base, or at least the main part of my base. So I'm going to go ahead and dig out some of this. Under here, I'm going to go ahead and put, if I can, because I want to put, wait, it was there, then it wasn't. I want to put this right there. I might have to dig just a little further down on the side here. All right. Right there. Okay, and then that will give me a foundation to start working on. And from here, I should be able to use my filler flattener tool rather than my drill. Now, with the filler flattener tool, it is going to drop rock chunks and the like, but that'll be okay. Let me get the recharges, and then once these charges are done, then I'll switch over to the drill. But I would rather save the drill if I can. So let's come on down here and start a flattening. Okay, so I haven't done a whole lot. I started doing this and then I'm running into the dirt that'll start dropping the rocks. But I noticed that I am running low on oxygen. So I'm going to need to come on up here and get some oxygen. Oof. I'm gonna have to fill that in like that and then flatten it. Okay. I'm gonna have to come up here and get some oxygen. That's why I have all these, so that I can refill my oxygen rather quickly. Now, it takes, I believe, 10 of these to fully fill. There's a hole here. To fully fill the oxygen up. So, I'm going to have to get a few more. And then one. Alright, that should be enough. Alright. Then I can replace that with something else. With the drill. Okay. So, this level of the base is... I think I'm going to have the base just be one level. I might have a second level that goes down a little ways, but for the most part, it's just going to be one level. I'm going to need to incorporate a storage area, a medical bay, a kitchen, a bedroom, maybe a living room. I'm going to need enough room to place crop plots. So I might actually go down one more for the, one more block for the crop plots, just so that I have enough room for all those. Because those do require a too high room rather than just the one high that I'm planning for the rest of the base. It's going to feel a little bit more cramped than the mine was, because most of the mine rooms are at least too high, if not higher. But it'll be more like the Last Hope that's just got one-story floors for the most part. Actually, that's got a lot of two-story floors, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to continue flattening things out, and once I get it to the point where I'm going to actually start building things, or if I get murdered by drones, I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so I've got it as far out as I think I want it to go on each side. I just basically, to determine how far I wanted it to go, I stood here on the edge, like in the center of one of the edge ones, and just basically did that until it couldn't dig any further. So now I'm going to just pull this out as far as I can without it going through the wall. And that's going to be the basis of my like the base of my underground base. There. Now let's count from here. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me go ahead and put a 6th one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's going to be 6 out from this, which makes it a 9 by 9 square that I'm working for. So now the next thing I'm going to need to do is clear out all these areas, the middle area things, so that I can actually start building the floor all the way out. I think I'm going to go ahead and do like that. And just fill in what I can here. I did not want that there. Why are you there? Go away. Okay. And so I'm going to fill this in, and then I'm going to start digging out the rest of the base. Alright, so it's getting to be daylight, and I have just finished whitening this area to the point that I want it. Now, I'm going to have to put at least one more layer out here, but I'm going to have it be only single, probably going to have it just be the walls, because I'm going to need, I'm going to make them actually be walls. So I'm just going to do like that, and then I'm going to extend this out as far as I can and over something like that, and then have the wall come out over to here as well, and then blast away the little rock formation things that take in the corners. That way I'll have, you know, a completely interior here. So I'm going to get that done. And I've got this little area where I might be able to dig out further and do some things, but I'm probably just going to put blocks there. And then, as you can see over here, I've actually built, brought the land in a little further to conceal this a bit more. And so that from up here, you can barely see what's going on in there because it's in the a little alcove type thing. So, unfortunately, that's going to have to be it for this episode, because the episode is going just a little bit long. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button for me. And if you want to see more Empyrion Galactic Survival, go ahead and subscribe. I'm KnowItAllDM, and as always, y'all have a good day now.